of Fox Sports.
We are Blackmore. We are Detroit.
The MHSAA High School Football Finals are presented by Arby's.
One year ago, Grand Rapids South Christian came to Ford Field and won the Division IV state championship very impressively over Detroit Country Day. And this year, the Sailors are back to defend their title. They'll be facing a playoff-tested Marine City team, a team that has fought its way to the Division IV finals with some impressive wins of their own. It's the Division IV state championship game between the Mariners of Marine City and the Sailors of Grand Rapids South Christian. Welcome inside Ford Field, everyone. Along with former University of Michigan great John Wangler, I'm Dan Dickerson, wrapping up the first full day of high school football championship action at Ford Field. 1 year ago, John Wassink, the quarterback for South Christian, led his team to the state championship game, but then did not play in it. He broke his collarbone in the semifinal win and then had to watch on the sidelines as his team won the state championship. Well, John Wassink has used that as motivation to get back this year, and John, impressively, he has, and he does it all. This is a junior who's playing very good football.
He truly is. He's a dual threat passer, runner. He's a Division I prospect. He holds all kinds of records, season records for South Christian. He's really the engine that drives that offense for South Christian. He's a spectacular football player.
John Wassink has accounted for more than 40 touchdowns this year with his arm and with his legs, and he'll be trying to do it again here this afternoon. Now, Marine City ideally likes to run the ball, and why not? They've got two terrific backs. Jared Matheson is the junior. He's averaging 8 yards a crack, and he's gained 1,000 yards. But they might not be here, John, if it wasn't for the performance of the senior, Tate Sapienza, and what he did in the semifinals.
Well, Tate really put him on his back. It was a blue-collar effort in terrible conditions last Saturday. He runs the ball 27 times for 195 yards and just pounding at people in that tough conditions, weather conditions. Really a gamer, and that's a big reason why they're here today.
It's a modified wing tee. That's what their head coach Ron Glodich calls it. What's the challenge for South Christian to stop it?
Well, they got to be disciplined. They got to read their keys. They got to be very, very disciplined because there's a lot of misdirection and deception, and they run it to perfection. So let me tell you, they got to be a disciplined squad over there on South Christian's defense.
Mariners will throw it, but they like to run it. That's their game plan today. South Christian defending their state championship from a year ago. The Mariners were here just a couple of years ago. They lost in the state championship game today. They'll be trying to win it. South Christian against the Mariners of Marine City. The opening kickoff is next.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you please stand. The privilege of this game was made possible by those who have fought and continue to fight for the freedoms we enjoy. So let us honor and respect their efforts and our country. My gentlemen, removing your caps, and everyone standing at attention, placing your hand over your hearts as we proudly sing our national anthem, which will be played tonight by the South Christian Sailor Pep Band under the direction of Douglas Rosemont, along with the Marine City High School Mariner Marching Band, directed by our national anthem.
The journey to Ford Field is much longer than the commute. It takes years to reach the pinnacle, and the toll is blood, sweat, and tears. But for the fortunate few whose career-long odyssey ends here, it's the chance of a lifetime. For those on this quest, play not for the name on the back of the jersey, but the name on the front. This Thanksgiving weekend, the students go from taking history to making history. And it starts now.
Welcome back inside Ford Field. Dan Dickerson, John Wengler getting ready for the fourth matchup of the day, the Division IV state championship game. And now let's welcome in the third member of our crew. Rod Beard is down on the sideline. Rod?
Thanks, guys. Fans, you can get in the game as well. You can follow us on Twitter, follow the status of the Twitter hashtag Tug of War. Use hashtag Go Mariners for Marine City and hashtag Go Sailors for Grand Rapids South Christian. Also, if you've got any photos, you can send them to hashtag FSD Prep Zone, like my friend Logan here in the Marine City War Zone. Let's go. Back up to you in the booth, Dan.
All right, Rod, thank you. South Christian will get the ball to start the game. There's a look at the Marine City head coach Ron Glodich in his second season. Not a bad start to his career. Long time assistant coach, the offensive coordinator at Marine City for more than a couple of decades. Mark Tamiga across the way, his fifth season as the Sailors head coach. Again, trying to repeat as state champions. He too, a long-time assistant at South Christian before taking over as head coach 5 years ago. Again, the Mariners of Marine City will kick off to start the game. Jake Shermataro will kick off right down to about the 20-yard line. Caught there by Eric Van Voorst and across the 35-yard line before he's brought down good field position to start the day for Grand Rapids South Christian. Tate Sapienza on the tackle. Take a look at the starting quarterback. We talked about him in the open. John Wasink. And his head coach, Mark Tamiga, couldn't say enough good things about him. He's still just a junior.
Johnny's good, there's no doubt about it. He's probably the best we've ever had at South, and I'll go as far as to say he's the best I've seen at the high school level. Now, I know this kid from Ithaca is really good too, but Johnny has the whole package. You know, he has the size, the athletic ability, and probably most important is up here. Nothing much rails him. He sees defense as well, and you know, knows what to call.
Right away, they take to the air, John. A short completion to Eric Van Voorst, a gain of 6 on first down. Ideally, they would like to about a 50-50 split in their run and their pass.
Right. Nice confidence builder for Wasink to get the jitters out. Real safe pass. They hit the first one and get a little momentum.
This is a look you will see a lot. Empty backfield sometime, usually one back, but you've got 5 options at receiver. Movement on the line, and this penalty is going to go against the Mariners of Marine City.
Dead ball foul, encroachment on the defense. Repeat, the play is going to result in the first down.
Moves it up to the 47-yard line. This is an offense that can also play the hurry up, John, and put some pressure on defenses right away. Wasink alone in the backfield. Facing some pressure, screen right. That's Van Voorst down the right sideline. He's got some room. Inside the 20, he's going to go. Eric Van Voorst goes 52 yards for a touchdown, and less than a minute into this game, South Christian takes a 6-0 lead.
Well, it set up very well. They did a screen to the short side of the field, and it really was set up on Wasik. Looked to the front side, froze all the backers, got the secondary to move, and then Van Voorst was off to the races.
Terrific blocking out there, breaks one tackle, and then look at the speed to outrun the secondary. Kyle Hahn is on for the extra point for Grand Rapids South Christian. The early lead, 58 seconds into the game, and the extra point is up and plenty good, and that's a heck of a leg for Kyle Hahn. Well, the South Christian fans absolutely loving this start. What a start for their team. That's a heck of a student section down below us, John.
Yeah, you think they're fired up? They went with an empty backfield to start, and they set that play up real nice. And Van Voorst, great hands, good speed. He runs good routes, and he was off to the races there.
And again, this is what South Christian likes to do. Now the response for Marine City, they would like to control the ball when they get the ball back, and you can see why, because Grand Rapids, the Sailors, South Christian can strike so quickly.
Well, you know, Dan, they've also thrown the ball more effectively this year than they have in the past. They've thrown for over 1,600 yards, and they've thrown it more than a typical Marine City team has over the years. Kyle
Hahn will kick it off. Pat Salas Matheson among the many who are deep, and this one crosses the goal line. That's the automatic touchback, and the Mariners will take over on their own 20. Alex Merchant is the quarterback for Marine City, and this is a young man who had to adapt to an entirely new offense. His first year as a starter, and John, he came from a program across town that had a very different offense, the spread offense.
Yeah, he did, and he's a smart kid, and he was able to adjust. He's a good leader. He's a run-pass threat. He's got real good ball handling skills, which is essential in this type of running attack.
And look at this alignment. This is the modified wing T. You almost will never see this. 3 wideouts to the left. They throw the receiver screen. Some good blocking downfield, and a first down right away as Jarrett Matheson catches it out of the backfield. That's a heck of a first down play, and a very different look as Eric Van Voorst makes the tackle.
Very safe play and a great way to start offensively for Marine City.
Again, Sapienza, Matheson, both over 1,200 yards on the ground this year. It's a very good offensive line. Rivard and Carbone, the tackles are real bookends. They've got a lot of size. Running room right side across the 40. That's Matheson with a good gain on first down. But going back to that offensive line, Rivard checks in at 300, and Carbone, the right tackle, at 280. And that's a heck of a thing, John, to have for a Division IV school. 2 tackles of that size.
It really is, Dan. And what they did that time, they went unbalanced. And so they shifted over the tight end. So they were unbalanced to the right, and they went right at that. So you'll see a lot of that this evening.
Now out of the shotgun, quick toss, left side. Pat Salas caught it, and his knee was on the ground, so automatically down, and that'll set up a 3rd and short. We take a look at the South Christian defense. Their base is a 3-4, but they can make adjustments. Postma is the real leader on that defensive line. When you look at the linebackers, Boomsma, the senior, the leader in that linebacking core. And then look for Eric Van Voorst. Remember, he just scored the touchdown. He has 11 interceptions this year in that defensive backfield, including 3 last week. Keeping it and working hard, Merchant is right at that first down marker, and he does have the first down, a gain of 3, and a first down for Marine City.
That time we were unbalanced to the left there, okay? Earlier, they were unbalanced right. When they go unbalanced, there's a strong possibility they're coming that way.
John, a traditional wing T often has 3 backs in the backfield, and that's why their head coach, Ron Glodich, likes to call it a modified wing T, because they're giving South Christian already a lot of different looks.
Okay. Yeah, see, and what they do, Dan, you're never going to see the same formation twice. They're a multiple formation, but they base out of that wing T.
Now they're throwing a screen to Matheson, and that's a heck of an open field tackle by South Christian's David Boomsma. We were talking about that leader. It's a young team still really overall for South Christian, but those seniors, Postma and Boomsma, especially leading the way on defense.
Boomsma did a great job coming from his linebacker position there. He was not fooled. He read his key, and he was disciplined. He did not bite. They looked strong side to the field, and they threw back a screen to the short side, and Boomsma played that perfectly.
Slow to get up was the left guard, Kevin Fitzsimmons. This is a guy that his head coach, Ron Glodich, says probably the strongest guy in his whole team, 5'7", 240, and a 4-year starter at left guard. If you lose your helmet on any play, you have to come out of the game automatically for 1 play. So Fitzsimmons comes out. He'll be back in. Stumbling as he hands it off is Alex Merchant, but he did hand the ball off to Jared Matheson for just a short gain. And this is going to set up 3rd and 5.
Well, that was the first time we saw the trap for Marine City. That's their bread and butter play. They love that inside trap, and that's really what they want to establish here today to loosen up that front 7.
Got an offensive line that averages about 260 across the front. Very impressive, and it's a group that has really performed well, and one of the reasons that head coach Ron Glodich felt they had a chance to have a special year this year. Under ideal circumstances, this is the team that will run the ball into the 4th quarter behind that offensive line. And now before this 3rd and 5, and kind of a big early 3rd and 5 for Marine City, they're going to call a timeout. So we'll step aside. It's an early 7-0 lead for South Christian, and a big 3rd down coming up for Marine City when we come back.
We talked about Marine City and the wing T offense. They've only thrown 30 passes all season, but they've thrown 3 today already, showing a little bit of a different wrinkle. The one they had last week was on a 4th and 13 play, and they got 21 yards out of it. So we're seeing something a little different from that wing T already. Back to you in the box, Dan.
All right, Rod. 3rd, and we'll call it 5. Lone back in the backfield is Matheson, and he is absolutely swarmed in the backfield for a loss of 7. Sam Hybor, the junior defensive end, was on top of him right after he got the ball.
Well, Hybor came off the edge there. It was just a toss sweep, really unblocked, and was able to make that play in the backfield. A huge play there for Hybor.
Loss of 7 sets up 4th and 13 from the 40-yard line. Dana O'Rourke punting. It's a pretty good punt, too. Caught at the 27-yard line. Van Voorst, full head of steam, but he's knocked down just shy of the 40-yard line. Ethan Cleve, one of the offensive linemen for Marine City, in on the tackle. The first possession was so quick we didn't have time to set that South Christian offense. So let's take a look at the backs and receivers. And again, this is still a young group. Wassink, the quarterback, a junior. Blasman is a junior, one of the top targets. Sam Hybor is a junior as well. Look at the offensive line. Mitchell Klockauer at the left tackle. On the right tackle, James Gonches. Travis Steenwick, the right guard, checks in at 280. He is the senior leader on that offensive line. Wassink carries on 1st down. Not much there as he crosses the 40-yard line. Short gain on 1st down. Take a look at the defense for Marine City. They run basically a 5-2, but they're going to adjust to this spread offense. Go to a 4-3 at times. Kevin Fitzsimmons is the leader on the defensive line. We look at the linebackers. Eddie Crampton is the senior leader among that linebacking core, and Pete Pasalis is a terrific defensive back for Marine City. 2nd down and long for South Christian. Plasman alone in the backfield. High snap. Plasman gets it. Cuts it back inside. Not a whole lot of running room. Short gain on 2nd down. So a couple of runs. Kyle Scharnweber in on the tackle. He made a switch from linebacker last year. That's what you have to do sometimes in Division IV. Switch players around a little bit, and Scharnweber's done a terrific job making that move from linebacker to the line. Third and long for the Sailors of South Christian with the early 7-0 lead. And once again, we see the Mariners jump into the neutral zone.
Well, you can see them jumping around for a couple reasons. One of it is to disguise their coverage. They're trying to confuse Wassink.
Dead ball, encroachment on the defense, replay 3rd down.
They're getting a little anxious, but they're trying to mess up his reads. They're giving him a pre-snap look, and then they're backing out of that look. And that's one of the strategies of them going into the game.
Dennis Fitzsimmons, a frustrated sophomore, jumped across the line. Now the give. Nope, the keep is up the middle, and Wassink didn't have much, but he has enough for a 1st down, a gain of 2 on 3rd and 1. Eddie Crampton, the senior linebacker, made the tackle, and so far the running game the Mariners are doing a pretty decent job against this high-powered South Christian offense.
That time Wassink just faked. They brought the wide receiver in on a reverse. They faked that. He fouled him right up in the hole to pick up that first down. He's very, very good runner, picking up first downs, moving the chains to complement his great passing ability.
Kyle Hahn to the near side, Eric Van Voorst to the far side. 4 wides for the Sailors. Wassink back to throw again, looking to set up the screen, and this time he's going to pull it down and run, and there was very little in the way of running room. He's going to lose yardage. There, that time, the Mariners, John, looking for that screen, the one that resulted in the first touchdown in the first minute of the game.
You could see Marine City, they defensed it well. They were trying to set it up, and to Wassink's credit, he knew that it was defended well. Marine City was only rushing 3 guys. They dropped the other ones to defend that screen. A great call and execution by Marine City's defense.
2nd and 15 for Grand Rapids South Christian. Plasman in the backfield with Wassink. It's Plasman in motion, and he'll get the ball, and he's got some running room. Across midfield and into Mariners territory across the 45. Down to the 44-yard line before Big Joe Mazur brings him down. That's a good gain. 10 yards after the loss on first down. Making third down a little more makeable for the Sailors at 3rd and 5.
Great blocking. Grand Rapids, they have guys in space, knocking those people down, running down to give that running back a chance to pick up extra yardage. Great effort by the secondary.
Wassink sets, throws, and just out of the reach of Hahn. Tried to reach back over his right shoulder to make the catch and could not, setting up 4th and 5. Well, South Christian likes to go for it. Mark Tamiga will go for it on 4th down, and let's see what they want to do right here. Their punter is Kyle Hahn, the wide receiver. And you would think right here they're probably going to try to pin the Mariners deep, and they are.
Yeah.
On average is over 40 yards a punt. This is a good leg. And he's had 9 punts inside the 20. Jarrett Matheson, one of those 2 terrific backs for Marine City, is deep. And now he's joined by Pete Petsalis. Now Hahn tried a little pooch punt, and it's not what he normally does. He tried to pooch it, and instead it kicked to the right. And it's just a 13-yard punt and a break for Marine City. That's a very good punter, and it's not what he wanted to do.
You can see the frustration. There it is there. And you can see that's the downside. You know, a lot of these teams are going with these rugby-type kicks, you know.
Which can be a very effective kick.
Can be very effective, but the downside is that you're going to get a couple kicks like that.
That rugby-style kick, you can just kick it end over end, and you can actually, if you do it right, knock it out of bounds just where you want it.
Yep.
Now the give is right side and some running room for Tate Sapienza as he gets it up to the 35-yard line. Sam Hybor, Todd Postma in on the stop. Alex Merchant did throw for over 1,600 yards. And John, you mentioned that this is an offense, because they've modified the wing T, it's a good offense for high school football. There's a give left side, and again running room, first down carry across the 40-yard line for Sapienza. Eric Van Voorst on the stop. But John, it's an offense that can adjust with the talent, and talent goes up and down each year. A couple of years ago, Marine City threw the ball a lot more.
Yep, Sapienza does a nice job following his blocks, reading them, and setting them up. And then on contact, he keeps his feet moving, and he's always leaning forward for that extra yard. Does a real nice job with that, and that's not a skill that a lot of backs have. He's able to do that.
Now the give up the middle is to Petsalis. A receiver, the leading receiver. He gets the call up the middle, and another nice gain on first down. Again, this is what Marine City loves to do. They love to pound the ball, and they've got the line to do it.
Well, as you can see, that was a true wing T. right there. And if Marine City can start to exploit the middle of that defensive line and run off tackle, it's going to be a long afternoon for Grand Rapids.
Matheson, Sapienza in the backfield. The give is right side Matheson. And he bangs his way across the 45. A gain of 3, but that's enough for a first down before Sam Hybor brings him down.
Again, they went unbalanced. You could see here to the right side, unbalanced, and they fouled him. That time, they did not adjust, right? There was a straight T, and Grand Rapids did not adjust or make any shift on that unbalanced. And that's what Marine City is trying to find out. Will they make an adjustment when they go unbalanced?
Now a quick toss right side is to Matheson. And again, this time they've moved Matheson out of the backfield, throw him to the right side. Nice gain on first down. John, Jared Matheson was a quarterback last year, and they knew with Merchant coming into the school system, moving from another district, that he was going to be the starter. It's a heck of a transformation, and they really were impressed with how Matheson took to the job running the ball instead of leading the team as a quarterback.
Well, yeah, he led up to an 8-2, and for him to adjust and be that unselfish, to give up his quarterback spot, to go to be fullback, it shows what a team guy he is.
Give right side, look at the running room. That's Sapienza, and another first down for the Mariners. David Boomsma, the senior linebacker, brings him down. But this is exactly what Marine City wants to do.
Oh, this is their game. And if they can continue to pound that off-tackle play, okay, that's really their bread and butter. If they can continue to do that, they're going to be very, very difficult this evening.
Do you think South Christian's surprised by all the offensive sets they've already seen from Marine City?
Well, they've seen film on them,
yeah.
And they know that these guys have evolved into a multiple set team, as is Grand Rapids. They have a lot of sets as well.
Sapienza lone back in the backfield. This time, Merchant going deep toward the end zone. Ball tipped in the air, down to the ground, intended for Petsalis, and almost intercepted by the senior quarterback, Zach Brinkert.
Brinkert did a nice job. All that was a go route, and that time Merchant put the ball up there. He needed about 2-3 more yards because he actually was just getting by him. If he'd have put it up there, he might have had a chance to make a play. But give Grand Rapids credit. Great play there.
So now they go to 2 tight ends, and their 2 backs, Sapienza and Matheson in the backfield. It's Sapienza on the carry. He's got room up the middle. Across the 15, flag flies as he's brought down at the 13 after a gain of 13. Sam Hybor on the tackle. Let's see what the flag is all about.
Well, they found a little weakness. They're going off tackle on Grand Rapids' defensive line.
Flag came in late.
They're holding here. We'll repeat second down. 10 yards from the flag, repeat second down.
So the flag was actually beyond the first down marker. So as you can see, they're going to step it off from about the 16 back to the 26. Or they're opening some holes. Terrific blocking downfield. That was Jake Reeder on the block downfield.
Yeah, but, when your arms are extended, sometimes they'll make that call, but it wasn't a big hold.
And that was Reeder. Apparently did get called on that, but they're opening some holes right now. Again, just one man in the backfield. Merchant looks like he might be changing the play at the line. Out of the shotgun, the give. Sapienza left side. That's make it Matheson. He's going to cut it back inside right at the first down marker. And it looks like he has enough. He is right there at the first down marker. And they say first down.
Nice move. Then he tries to cut it back. Matheson shows some good athletic ability. He beats a guy. It's the same blocking scheme that they're running from the shotgun. They're just using out in a different formation, the multiple sets that Marine City's known for.
Now the give straight up the middle, banging his way for a few tough yards. Down to about the 15-yard line. Again is Matheson, and that's one of the things that head coach Ron Glodich talked about, John, was they quickly found out how tough this kid was at 170 pounds, the pounding that he could take.
Well, yeah, he's one of their tough guys in there, and he gets a lot of yards in between the tackles. That time it was on a trap play, and he doesn't mind those tough yards.
Give up the middle after the fake, and good tackle. Driving Sapienza back after a very short game. Oh, he got wrapped up and dropped by David Boomsma, lowered the boom.
Boomsma filling from that linebacker position. He's scraping, read his key. Really a picture-perfect tackle. We're going to call his name a lot this evening. He's a good linebacker, tough, makes a lot of plays.
We reached the end of the first quarter. The touchdown came in the first minute of the first quarter, and now the Mariners are taking time off the clock and controlling the ball. An impressive drive. They're trying to tie it up after falling behind early. Marine City deep in Sailor territory when we come back. Back at Ford Field, Dan Dickerson, John Wangler. After one quarter of play, you look at the first quarter statistics, John, and one number does indeed stand out.
1 yard, Dan. 1 yard. That's a big statistic right there, and that's exactly what Marine City wants to do, is to force those guys to throw the ball and not be balanced. I mean, it's really, as you said, they want to be a 50-50 type of team, and if they can shut down the run like they have, that's a real key.
And again, 52 of those 69 yards through the air were on the touchdown screen pass. It's the only score of the game so far. This is a 10-play, 56-yard drive that's taken almost 5 minutes off the clock for Marine City. Now the whistle blows before the first play of the second quarter, and apparently South Christian didn't like what they saw.
Well, they saw unbalanced, and they haven't adjusted yet, and they probably are trying to right now.
So far, they have not been able to stop the Mariners of Marine City. First play of the second quarter when we come back.
Welcome back, guys. For Marine City, they really needed some help getting to this playoff run. In Week 8, they played their bitter rival, St. Clair, and they suffered a loss there. Coach Ron Gloder said that was a heart-wrenching loss, but he told his players the choice is to hang your heads or come back and learn from it. Obviously, with this run to the finals, they've learned from it. Changed their practice habits and changed the way they address the rest of their season. Back to you in the booth there.
All right, Rod. Now quickly out of the huddle to the line. The give, left side, Sapienza across the 10, and it looks like he's got a first down. He does. What an impressive drive, and on 3rd and 5, Sapienza does the job again, and that offensive line is opening some holes right now.
Well, and you know, this has a cumulative effect over time, Dan. That defense of South Christian has been out there a long time. Okay, you do that for 3 or 4 quarters, by the end, you know, they're going to be, you know, taking some gas.
And that's exactly what Marine City has done this year. They wear teams down. Their head coach Ron Glodich feels if they're in the 4th quarter in a tight game, he likes his chances. The give is straight up the middle. Very little there from Matheson. On first down, he gains maybe a couple.
One of the other things that they're trying to do offensively for Marine City is they're trying to get down and get set and get the play off before these guys adjust, because they're giving them so many sets. You can see there's some confusion on the South Christian defense.
Absolutely is. Now they go full house backfield. Pat Salas joins Matheson and Sapienza. Give left side, cutting it up toward the goal line. Sapienza right at the goal line, and he is brought down just inches shy of a touchdown. Kevin Bauman made the tackle that for the moment keeps the Mariners off the scoreboard. Really, it's just a student body left. You come out of a straight tee, it's unbalanced, okay, an unbalanced tee. So they had 4 linemen on the left side, and they had a full house backfield, that everybody going left. Boy, he stretched clearly down. 3rd and inches. The give up over the top is Matheson. Touchdown, Marine City.
Great effort there by Matheson. Just straight ahead dive. He gets up in the air, or airborne, uses his 48-inch vertical, and clears the line of scrimmage.
Extra point away from Marine City from tying this game. Their kicker is Olivia Viney, all of 5'2", 118 pounds, a soccer player. And look at that extra point right down the middle, her 55th extra point of the year. And it is believed that this is the first time a female kicker has scored a point in a state championship game. And congratulations to Olivia Viney.
How about 55 out of 59?
Isn't that something? Soccer player for Marine City. Her dad was a soccer coach for a long time at Marine City. She was on the JV last year, knew she had to get better. And her dad said to head coach Ron Glodich, hey, give her a chance. And she worked very hard over the summer to get better, and she's been a big part of this team.
Well, they said they were putting in hours out there during the summer, Dan, kicking field goals, and obviously it's paid off. And what a great story.
Rod Beard has more on Olivia Viney.
Yeah, it runs in the family for the Vineys. Her brother, Tyler, is 4 years older than her, and he also kicked for the Marine City team, and that's where she got the inspiration to want to do it herself. Back to you guys in the booth.
That smile couldn't be any wider, could it? That's one happy kid. Across the 35-yard line, Van Voorst is stopped shy of the 40. So a very impressive drive for Marine City. Methodical right down the field. And that's exactly what they want to do. Took a lot of time off the clock. More than 6 minutes on the drive and 15 plays to go 79 yards.
Well, Dan, not only taking time off the clock, right? You got Wasink and Van Boers and the guys sitting on the sidelines watching.
Empty backfield. 4 wideouts left for Grand Rapids South Christian. Tie game early second quarter. Again, they try the wide receiver screen. Good block by Hahn. Frees Plasman for a good gain on first down. Jake Shermataro, the senior safety, on the tackle.
Hahn does a great job sealing that, and then he gets to the outside, makes a nice cut. Great play on first down.
Plasman reading that block beautifully. Ryan Veenstra now checks in from the sideline, delivers a message to quarterback John Wasink, now splits out wide right. Plasman in the backfield with Wasink. He gets the carry right up the middle, breaks out of a tackle. Plasman has running room. Across the 30-yard line down to the 27-yard line. Pete Petsalis makes perhaps a touchdown-saving tackle after a gain of 26.
Great read there by Wasink. He gives the ball in there to Plasman, doing a great job. A nice spin, using his athleticism to pick up another 10 yards.
Towel dangling. The defenders try to bring him down any way possible. Jake Shermataro is the one who grabbed that towel, ripped it in half, it looked like. 1st and 10 out of the shotgun. Wasink rolling right under pressure, and he's going to be brought down. Kyle Scharnweber, Dennis Fitzsimmons bring him down. A big loss on first down, a loss of 8.
Great pressure from the edge there. Fitzsimmons coming off the edge, making that big stop. There was good coverage there. Now they're stemming their coverages. They're moving it around. They're playing a little chess game with Wasink.
Couple of big plays for South Christian. They've not been able to really get the running game going outside of the one big carry for Plasman. Plasman's in the backfield with Wasink. 2nd and long. Plasman in motion, but it'll go back the other way to Van Voorst. He's got a block downfield. Knocked down at the 25-yard line by Pete Petsalis, the senior leader in that defensive secondary.
Petsalis not fooled at all. They tried to do a screen to the backside. Wasink did a nice job setting it up, looking front side, and then coming back to Van Voorst. Good defense by Petsalis.
Van Voorst is a terrific athlete. He goes wide left. He's got the touchdown catch in this game. Plasman in motion right. The throw is over the middle and it's intercepted. At the 10, Matheson with it. Cutting back up the middle, has some blocks. He's down the right sideline. Wasink will haul him down at the 40, a return of 51 yards. And now Marine City back in Grand Rapids South Christian territory.
Well, at that time, they were running a seam route, and the ball sailed a little bit. He's trying to get to Haybor. It sailed a little bit, and a great read there from the safety, Matheson, and then he just took it back and used athleticism.
So one of the two big weapons in the backfield offensively shows his moves, returning an interception. Almost went down, but he covered a lot of yardage.
He did.
That return.
Side to side.
And I thought he had the opening down the right sideline, but it was the quarterback, John Wasink, who played in the defensive backfield last week for Grand Rapids South Christian, who made the touchdown-saving tackle. Now Merchant back to throw deep down the sideline into the middle of the end zone. Touchdown! Pete Petsalis got behind the secondary, and Marine City takes the lead.
Great call by Ryan Glodich there. A sudden change, right? All this is a seam route right up the seam, a post, a skinny post to Petsalis. He gets behind the safety, and it's a touchdown. Gives him some air to make a play on it. Look at that.
That's
good
over 1,000 yards receiving for Petsalis, the senior. Finding on for the extra point, and the kick is up, and it is good. What a change. Grand Rapids South Christian driving into Marine City territory. The interception, the big play, and Marine City is on top for the first time today. Quick strike touchdown for the Mariners of Marine City after falling behind 7-0. They've got the 7-point lead. There's a look at one of the leaders on both the offensive and defensive lines, Kevin Fitzsimmons. He talked earlier about an underdog role, really. As talented as this team is, Marine City has been the underdog in many of their playoff games. And he says this is something they've embraced throughout this impressive playoff run.
I would think so, yes, because we have been the underdog in almost all of our games this playoff run so far. And like Coach said, it's team over talent sometimes, and we've never really had any D1 athletes, and we've been playing great athletes, and just sometimes the team together can beat one good athlete.
And there is a look at Kevin Fitzsimmons, along with his brother Dennis, one of the leaders. Here's head coach Ryan Glodich. He was saying one of the things about this defense, he said, John, nobody really impresses you on this defense, but they just outwork you.
Well, and they've gotten better, and that's a big key to success, right? Then that's one thing you can control. They've gotten better each week during the playoffs. That's been the thing. They just keep getting better each week, and like you said, team over talent.
Jacob Ryan with the kickoff. It's Van Voorst on the return across the 35-yard line. MHSAA.TV will have live streaming coverage of the post-game press conference from this game today. Plus, you'll find an archive of all of this weekend's championship games. Get bonus coverage of the football finals at MHSAA.TV. Well, John, what does South Christian do now? Looked like they had something good going on their last drive.
Well, they got to try to establish a run, I think. I think that's the first and foremost. They obviously can throw the ball, but they have got to get this offense humming.
Stack the wideouts to the left. Wasink will give up the middle, a stumble, but Plasman recovered, but the Mariners defense all over him, led by the safety Jake Shermataro. Short gain on first down.
Yeah, they're trying to spread everybody out, and they go in with that zone read up the middle. Nice hole for Plasman.
Shermataro closed that in a hurry, didn't he? This is a defense, really both coaches feeling very good about their defenses, even though Marine City had given up some points in the playoff run. The job they did against Lansing Sexton last week was terrific. in that bitter cold, allowing just the 7 points. One of the better defensive efforts of the year. Quick toss right side on the slant cut, just a little bit too far for Eric Van Voorst. Good defensive work that time by the Mariners.
Wassing's just a little off today. He threw high the one on the interception, and this one's just a little off. But I'll tell you got to give Marine City credit. That defense is swarming. They're giving them a lot of different looks. They're disguising coverages, and they're very, very scrappy. So they're giving South Christian all they can handle here.
1 for 3 on third downs today for Grand Rapids South Christian, trailing by 7 midway through the second quarter. Wassink with time, throws right side, has a man. Van Voorst knocked to the turf. And a first down for the Sailors.
Beautifully executed play that time. You cannot draw it up any better. That time, Van Voorst took his man 15 yards. He broke on a dime. Wassman threw that ball before Van Voorst had turned. He anticipated that. Look at him. He got separation there, little contact, looked it in. Beautiful job there. They're giving him a lot of cushion. They got a lot of respect for Van Voorst, and that time they took advantage of that cushion.
First down right at midfield. Wassink finds a seam right side, and he might be gone. Inside the 10, touchdown. 50-yard run for John Wassink. 21st rushing touchdown of the year.
Great call by South Christian. They did a quarterback ISO out of a two-back set. And all he did was follow his backs, made a great cut. He found a seam and he was off to the races. Great call, showing his athletic ability. A formation to the sideline. So they had an advantage to the sideline. Everyone thought they were coming wide. They cut it to the sideline behind the backs. Beautiful play.
Kyle Hahn has been very good on extra points. This one is up, and ooh, he just tucked it inside that left goal post and tied the game. Oh, Austin just ran away from the Mariners to tie this game. We've got a heck of a game going in the Division IV state championship game. Sailor fans excited. They've had two big plays for touchdown. 52-yard pass, 50-yard run. Wassink accounting for both touchdowns in this game. It's a versatile offense, and it's one that he loves running for the Grand Rapids South Christian Sailors.
You know, our offensive line is very good, and so we're able to run and pass, and we got some skill players on the outside that make plays too. So I think we can do a lot of different things, and that helps us be successful.
Look at the numbers for Wassink for the season and in this game. But in this game, he's already totaled almost 150 yards in offense. He's accounted for most of the offense, and now he's accounted for 43 touchdowns this year with his arm or with his legs. Hahn with a kickoff, and this is going to be fielded. And a couple of fakes, but it's kept by Petsalis, and Grand Rapids South Christian wasn't fooled by any of the fakes, and they drop him at the 15.
Marine City's known for this. They call it starburst, where they'll line up down here and there'll be a bunch of fakes. There'll be a bunch of fakes here, and then they're trying to confuse the kickoff team who has the football. That time, Grand Rapids did a nice job. Obviously, they've scouted these guys before and very disciplined, and were able to stop them pin them down deep there on the 16-yard line.
Pretty impressive on some of those outside coverage guys. Didn't buy the fake. They were right to the ball.
No, they've watched their film.
Things have changed through the years in terms of the ability to watch film, haven't they?
Oh my gosh. With Huddle and all the different technologies.
Sapienza carrying left side on first down. Not much there, but it's been so far first half where South Christian's had a tough time matching up with the Mariners' offensive line.
Well, they've done a good job confusing them with multiple sets, the unbalanced. So they're really trying to keep them on their toes. They shifted from a power situation to a T formation. So they're really moving guys around and making them try to adjust from a power I to a T.
Give Right side, lots of running room for Matheson. They faked to Pensalis, bought the fake, and it was a big gain of 22 yards across the 40-yard line for Matheson.
That time it was a trap, okay? You saw them pull the guard, and that time Matheson hit that hole. It's a big hole and a big crease. He had that guard pulling. Matheson was off to the races once he got by the line of scrimmage.
Nice wheels. Boy, he makes a couple of cuts. He can make people miss, too. Sapienza on the carry on first down. He's got running room. Right to the first down marker across midfield before Kyle Hahn, the safety, brings him down.
That time they went back to that off-tackle look with Pensalis, or Sapienza rather. He did a nice job picking his way through, keeping his feet. He's got very, very quick feet to make shallow cuts. Does a good job getting real close to that first down marker. Or is a first down.
And they finally do as a late call. And already the Mariners are at the line, but now they've got to wait as the first down markers are moved right at the first down marker. So it's first down for Marine City in a tie game. A heck of a start to this Division IV championship game. Running right side. Sapienza. Nice pickup on first down, a gain of 6.
That time they shifted again. They shifted from a power I into a T, and they trapped again. And that time Sapienza did a nice job picking his way through. So they're really trying to keep South Christian on their toes with these multiple sets and shifting almost on every play.
Or Kevin Fitzsimmons, he's 5'7", 240. He's quick. Nice pull that time, leading the blocking downfield. Quick toss, left side, Matheson. He breaks out of one tackle, and then he's swarmed, but not until after he picks up the first down and a gain of 8.
Great play. They go to a wide bunch formation with Matheson behind, and then very safe play, almost like a toss sweep, only it's a pass, and he was able to pick his way through for another first down.
Marine City's already had a 15-play drive that took over 6 minutes. Now they're taking time off the clock as we wind down the second quarter, inching toward halftime in a tie game. Ball's loose on the snap. Let's see who got it. Grand Rapids South Christian says they have it. Let's see. A fumbled exchange, and no indication yet from the officials. South Christian, at least one player feels that they've got it. Everybody's up off the ground, and Marine City still has it.
Nothing that drives a coach crazier in game 14. Hitting a center quarterback exchange, but big break for Marine City.
And that was one of the big adjustments for Merchant this year, wasn't it, John? Because he was running a spread offense last year, had never been under center.
Right, and that's very typical of a lot of high school programs now. It's all shotgun.
Now flag flies before the snap. Looks like this may go on Marine City. Movement on the line.
We got dead ball, false start on the offense, and we'll repeat first down.
If there was movement, it was slight. That's kind of like a balk. There was a slight twitch of the left arm of the center, Josh Albo. That's about all I saw.
Maybe the left tackle moved his head. I don't know. It was very close. Very close.
Now get right side. Matheson makes a couple of men miss. Inside the 20. Bowls over a tackler. Eric Van Voorst finally makes the stop after a gain of 20.
Here it is. Again, they did not adjust to the formation, and Matheson was able to get outside. It looks like, Grand Rapids has been out there a long time on the field, Dan, and I think they're starting to wear down a little bit. They just sealed him off, and he broke it outside. It was nothing fancy.
Paul Carbone, that right tackle, sealing off that right side. Sapienza trying to reach the edge, going left side, and he does. Turns the corner inside the 5, and touchdown. Tate Sapienza, and Marine City is back on top.
Nothing fancy, just good old-fashioned football, getting a guy to the outside and sealing on the inside. Sapienza using some quick feet, hitting that edge out of a T formation. You get 2 lead blockers, they seal the edge, and then Sapienza does the rest. He outruns everybody to the pylon.
There's some guys with some speed out there trying to chase him down. I thought he might have gone out of bounds, and instead he outran some quick guys in that secondary for the 18-yard touchdown run. Olivia Viney adds the extra point, and back and forth we go. What a first half in this Division IV state championship game.
Well, a lot of those big linemen are going both ways for South Christian, and it's starting to take a little toll.
Look at the numbers for Tate Sapienza, and again, this is what we talked about in the open. You've got 2 guys you're trying to defend if you're South Christian. Both average just about 8 yards a carry this year. John, that was a terrific job not going out of bounds with that lean to get into the end zone for Sapienza.
Well, you know, he tried. That play really was designed to go inside, and he was able to bounce it outside with his athleticism once he saw those guys have everything blocked and sealed down. Great read there by Sapienza.
It didn't look like that play was going anywhere, and he turned it into an 18-yard touchdown run. Another terrific drive by Marine City. FoxSportsDetroit.com has you covered for all the latest news and information, including interviews, highlights, videos, fan forums, exclusives on the Tigers, Red Wings, Pistons, Lions, and more. Go to FoxSportsDetroit.com, your only stop for all things Detroit sports. FoxSportsDetroit.com. Kickoff high and short.
Break down.
Again, it's Van Voorst. And he's going to get across the 30-yard line up to the 35. With this quick strike offense, plenty of time for Grand Rapids South Christian to try to get the equalizer before halftime.
Well, we saw how quick they can move the ball downfield. So, you know, this is an eternity for a team like South Christian and a quarterback and receivers like that they have on the field.
Plasman in the backfield with Wassing. South Christian with the early 7-0 lead, now trailing by 7, final 2 minutes of the first half. Wassing throws right. Oh, he just tucked it in there to Van Voorst. Stepped out of a tackle and gets the first down near midfield.
Well, that's their bread and butter play. You get Van Voorst on an outcut, and Wassing's deliver that thing with velocity and timing. That's damn near unstoppable. He's done a nice job on that on 3 occasions now.
Clock stopped for a moment while they move the chains. Hurry up offense, no huddle right now for South Christian. Now the slant cut, and oh, that's good defense by Tanner Starr, junior linebacker, reached in, the ball thrown just behind the intended target.
Yeah, great play by Starr. It was just a slant cut. Watch him get his arm and knock that ball and strip it. That's textbook defense right there. Great play by Starr.
Sam Hybor, the intended receiver, the second leading receiver for the Sailors.
Hybor's got to get his body in between that and shield him off. He's got a big size advantage on Starr.
Second and 10. Wassing chased, doesn't have time to turn and throw, so he'll just run it out of bounds. Gain a few. Call it a gain of 4, setting up 3rd and 6.
Great job by the secondary, the Marine City. Wassing had nowhere to go. Guys were covered. He tucked it and ran to live to see another down, but that was a good sack. They applied pressure. They forced him out of the pocket, and a good defense there by Marine City.
Good awareness there to just get out of bounds, not try to force anything, and stop the clock. 3rd and 6 for Grand Rapids South Christian. Plasman in motion right. Wassing under pressure. Gets a block. Throws downfield. Has a man. First down for Grand Rapids South Christian into Marine City territory. Kyle Hahn on the reception.
Great job by Hahn coming back to the ball. Wassing is under pressure. Low snap. Watch him extend this play. And guys are covered. Hahn does a good job not giving up on the play at the top of your screen and settling down right by the sideline and making that play. Very heads-up play by Hahn.
Terrific block in the backfield to keep that play alive for Wasink. Looked like James Gonchis, the right tackler, came in and helped him out. Wasink will keep. But well, there's nothing there. Dennis Fitzsimmons, sophomore defensive end, the younger brother of Kevin, with a terrific stop.
Nice penetration by Fitzsimmons that time. It was just a quarterback sweep. He wasn't fooled. He penetrated, beat that block, and had a nice stop for a loss.
Now Wasink, straight drop, looking deep down the middle. He was hit as he threw. This is in the right at the goal line, knocked away. Intended for Van Verst. Good defensive play. Pete Patsalis, the ball underthrown just slightly, but again, there was pressure right in the face of Wasink. Alec Adams applying the pressure from that left defensive end spot.
Just trying to get the matchup with Van Verst against Patsalis. The size advantage. Look at it. They throw it up there. They hope he can make a play. It's a jump ball. That time, a great defensive play by Patsalis.
Each team with a couple of timeouts left. 43 seconds on the clock, and 3rd and 11 now for South Christian. Trying to get the equalizer before halftime, but now Marine City is going to call timeout. They wanted to make sure they had everything covered before this big 3rd and 11.
Don't forget, fans, at halftime.
What should they be looking for here, John?
Well, I think they're going to try and do some kind. Well, they've had great success when they isolate Van Vorst on one of those corners. I'd also think they maybe try to drag somebody across or go back to that seam route where he overthrew it and there was an interception because he was open. And that may be the play because they get their tight end right down the seam.
The broadcast of this game is a copyrighted presentation of the Michigan High School Athletic Association and Fox Sports Detroit. No reproduction, retransmission, or other distribution of the descriptions or accounts of this game may take place without the express written consent of the MHSAA and Fox Sports Detroit. You can see the scores for South Christian leading to this championship game. Unusual to see only 20 points in the semifinal win, but again, that was not a day for offenses throughout the state last week. But this is a team that's used to putting up 34, 40 points a game, and they've done it a lot this season. Down 7 with 43 seconds to go in the first half. Wasink down the middle, tips off the hands of his intended receiver, Van Vorst. Good coverage that time. And now a decision for Grand Rapids South Christian.
Well, they had a nice route. All it was a seam route down the middle. He threw it a little high, but very catchable ball. They had who they wanted.
Yep, Highbore actually the intended receiver, just off his hands. And as you said, Wasink has just been a little bit off, John, on some of his key passes in the first half.
Yeah, they're sailing a little bit on him, and it's could be a little bit of nerves, but he'll settle down. He's made some great plays today.
He's completed almost 70% of his passes this year. So they'll go for it on 4th and 11 with 37 seconds to go. Empty backfield. Wasink has time. Down the middle, has a man. Caught at the 25-yard line. Van Vorst inside the 15-yard line. Down to the 11 before Missouri brings him down, but only after a gain of 27.
Great play there. He buys some time again with his feet, delivers the ball in traffic. There's a huge block, and boom! That was number 5. Laid him out. That was a great play to extend that play.
We have an injured Mariners player down on the field right at about the 25-yard line. Boy, there's some good blocking on that play. So an injured player will cause a stoppage. We have not yet gotten that number. Is that Pete Patsalis? Working on his left knee. There's that terrific block. That's Kyle Hahn laying out Matheson. And it's Tanner Starr who is going to hobble off the field, the junior linebacker for Marine City. But good to see him up and at least walking off with assistance, but under his own power as he comes off the field. Now Grand Rapids South Christian has 26 seconds to go. They do have 2 timeouts, so they don't necessarily need to go to the end zone. Hahn and Highboard to the right. Hasman in the backfield. Keep an eye on Van Voorst to the left. Wasink will keep. Running to the short side of the field, and not much there. He had a whole bunch of blockers, but ran out of field.
Well, they spread everybody out, then they just tried to go back short side and seal that off. And that time, Marine City did a good job extending that play and not letting him break contain. They had a problem there during this drive earlier that they let those guys get outside twice, but nice job that time adjusting.
Eddie Crampton, Alec Adams, Jake Shermataro, who head coach Ron Glodis had a terrific game last week, all there to push Wasink out of bounds. Second down. Wasink, shovel pass up the middle. Very little there for Plasman. And Grand Rapids South Christian will have to burn one of their 2 timeouts that they have left. Not a bad idea, but good defensive work by Marine City.
Yeah, the defense did very, very well. What they did, they spread everybody out and they sprinted to the field to the 3 receivers, tried a little shuttle pass underneath. Marine City did a good job. They were not fooled at all. The defensive players and the linebackers stayed home, and they were able to shut that down.
Head coach Ron Glodich for Marine City really feels like his defense is playing as well as it has all year. As you get a look at head coach Mark Tamiga for Grand Rapids South Christian, he too has been impressed by his defense. Both of these defenses have been getting better as the year has gone on. But Ron Glodich was telling us earlier in the week he's never seen a defense improve as much as his has, even though they've given up some points over the course of the last several weeks. He said our defense since the playoffs started really has kicked it up a notch, and it all kind of came together, holding a powerful Lansing Sexton team last week to just 160 yards.
Well, one of their mantras has been that they got to be physical. They got to be a physical team that's flying around, and as you said, they've gotten better each week, as both teams. You know, Grand Rapids South Christian, each week they're getting tougher defensively as well.
3rd and 7. The Sailors of Grand Rapids South Christian can actually pick up a first down right at the 1. Wasink throws right side, caught, flag, and touchdown! Kyle Hahn with the catch. Interference was called. He still fought off the defender, made the catch. The Sailors an extra point away from tying this game.
Pretty basic pitch and catch. That time, the ball was thrown low and away. Hahn did a good job fighting for that ball, keeping in concentration and coming up with the catch.
Boy, there was some terrific defensive work. It was interference, but I mean, you can't ask for any more than the defender Grant Sharp gave. I mean, he was all over him, but if they'd called the interference, they would have saved a touchdown, but he did everything he could to knock that ball out of the hands after the catch. That's a great job by Kyle Hahn.
Great concentration. A lot of chicken fighting going on out there.
What a first half of play.
Penalty is pass interference on the defense. They're going to take it on the kickoff. The touchdown is good.
Very impressive drive for South Christian. They came back and answered before this half to gain momentum going into the locker room.
Hahn, who just caught the touchdown pass, and again, terrific concentration as he was getting mugged at the goal line. to make the catch, hang on, and get it into the end zone. He will now attempt the extra point. 41 for the season. Make it 42 extra points for Kyle Hahn, and we're all tied with 12 seconds to go in the first half in the Division IV state championship game. John, we've talked about Wasink. He's missed some throws, and yet he's still 11 for 17.
Well, no, he's a tremendous quarterback. He's a gamer, and he's going to start to settle down. You know, he's making some plays. He's doing what he has to do. And I'll tell you, this is two heavyweights slugging each other. It's going to go down to the wire, but they're very, very explosive, South Christian.
That's a heck of a job there, making sure he hung on to the ball, squeezed it between the two legs to hang on to it, make sure the ball never hit the ground. Let's take a look at how these two teams got to the state championship game. Grand Rapids South Christian has won in every game by at least 14 points, beat Comstock Park last week in the semis 20-6. It only allowed 44 points in the 4 games. And Marine City, well, they kind of fought their way to the finals. Wins by 13 and 14 points. Then a last-second win against Detroit Country Day that was a wild finish. And then in the semifinals, beating Lansing Sexton 12-7. You talk about controlling the ball in that game. They ran 72 plays to Lansing Sexton's 28. So the penalty, you can see where they kicked off from, makes it easy for the touchback. 12 seconds left for Marine City. South Christian trying to repeat as state champions. A look back, they had a big win over Detroit Country Day last year in the Division IV Finals. 40-7 win over a talented Detroit Country Day team. They're trying to repeat. It is not easy to repeat. And this is still a young team. They started a whole bunch of freshmen or sophomores last year.
Oh yeah.
Talking about Grand Rapids South Christian, and so those guys are now juniors, and you still got a heck of a core coming back next year.
Yep.
So the give is to Matheson, and again he finds a big hole, gets out of bounds, 4 seconds to go. And then he gets it from the 20 up to the 35-yard line. Boy, Matheson has had some big runs here in the first half. The starting quarterback a year ago lost his job, and he's put up big numbers in the backfield.
He really has. He's had good blocking. He follows his blockers well. He's always leaning forward, fighting for that extra yard. They've done a nice job moving the football through the ground.
So he did not get out of bounds in time. The clock is going to run. And that is the end of one heck of a first half of football. Here at Ford Field in the Division IV state championship game, back and forth we went throughout the entire first half. John Wasink highlighted him coming in, and right away in the first minute, hitting Van Voorst on a screen for a touchdown. The touch here, again, Van Voorst. And he's been spreading the ball around. Van Voorst a favorite target all season long, and then with his feet, what a cut for that 50-yard touchdown run. A huge play in this first half, and it looked like the momentum might be swinging Marine City's way. Late touchdown pass, terrific catch by Kyle Hahn. Let's go down to Rod Beard, who's with Mark Taminga.
Mark, excellent first half. Right now, though, your quarterback's looking a little shaky on some of his throws, but he's thinking about what he's doing, and he's got you in a tie game at halftime.
He does. You know, he's playing a great game. You know, they're putting a lot of pressure on him, giving our offensive line fits up there where they're jumping all around. They're getting a little confused, so we got to straighten that out at halftime. So, go ahead.
A little bit of a blessing and a curse with a quick strike offense that your defense doesn't get a lot of rest in between those scoring drives.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Our guys are getting tired, but we got to play better defense. I mean, they're running all over us right now. We got to make some adjustments to their overloads, and we got to take care of that at halftime.
All right. Thanks, Mark. Appreciate it. Back to you guys in the booth.
All right, Rod. Touchdown in the first minute of this game, and then Marine City came back. But each team seemed to have an answer for the other. And we've played a first half tied at 21. In the Division IV state championship game between Marine City and Grand Rapids South Christian. Back at Ford Field in downtown Detroit, 21-21. What a first half. Grand Rapids South Christian against Marine City as this game went back and forth throughout the first half today. Second half coming up. Right now, I'd like to tell you about a story Football players at Bedford High School grew up believing they were born and bred to play in red. Every Kicking Mule jersey has family written on the back of it. At the start of the season, it was a constant reminder that they could do anything if they stuck together. By the end of their season, it was a symbol of strength after losing a brother.
Colton was just a great kid. He was fun, loving, he was goofy, but when it serious came, he was focused and driven, and you know, he's one of those kids that you always want on the team.
He was very funny, humorous, laid back, just kind of went through the day making everyone laugh.
He always just knew how to make people smile, and he was just a fun guy, just fun to be around, always brighten people's mood, and just one of those guys that lit up the room when you walked in.
My body just shook. You know, you're in this business so long, 25 years now. I've been coaching football, 16 as a teacher, and the nightmare I never wanted to happen was coming to fruition.
We had heard from somebody that he had been life-flighted to the hospital after the accident, and we all went down to the media center with all of our football team and just kind of went down there and prayed for his safety.
We sent a bus to the hospital to pick up all of our kids. We didn't want them driving. So we sent a bus back. I met them out back by the weight room and hugged every single one of them when they came off the bus. It was very emotional. Then we went down to the locker room separately and we had our moment, our 1 hour or hour and a half grieving. We weren't going to practice that day, and we asked the kids, you know, we have to make a tough decision. We can move the game to Saturday. We don't have to play this game. Whatever you guys want to do, I'm behind you 100%. And they said, we're going to play this game.
We had started this journey all together 12, 13 weeks ago at our football camp and gone through all these experiences with Colton, and he wanted it just as bad as we did to be undefeated and head to the playoffs, and so we just made the decision that he would really want to keep playing on Friday night.
On Thursday, tons of the community came out to support. It was dead silent in that stadium. You could hear a pin drop. Just not a dry eye in the stadium. Very sad moment.
It was sad, but at the same time, it was powerful. It was just nice to honor his life in that way, because the whole stands were packed. We had a lot of people there to help remember him and honor his memory. And the football team went out and we gave his jersey to his parents that were sitting out on the field, and we all gave him nice hugs and stuff. And just to see how strong they were through the whole thing really has helped us just show that we can be strong during this too.
The parents made a tunnel about 300 yards back to the school that we walked down, and the Durbans let us out.
At this time, I will read the lineup. Starting for the Lord in heaven will be number 3, Colton Durbin at 6'1", 160-pound senior defensive back.
It was very powerful, very emotional. We tried as coaches to keep smiles on our face, and you know what? That was one of the best therapeutic things I've ever been through in my life, because the kids had fun, they smiled, they laughed, they cried. We had a great night, and it really helped the mood heading into our tough weekend that we had to put Colton to rest.
I just think go out there, play for that kid, because he deserves it, and you know, it's a privilege to still be able to play this game of football.
We get out on the field, and there was a planet that looked like a star in the sky, and everybody just went like that to it, and our kids looked at it all night because they thought that was Colton, and how emotionally powerful that was for our kids.
It's been tough, but having your brothers like there to lean on with you and have them support you and pick you up when you're down, and having somebody just to talk to about things with you has really just brought us even closer together.
Football is family, everywhere. It's the greatest fraternity that we can be in. And I learned that through a tough tragedy in the last 2 weeks, and our kids just rallied around it.
Live life to the fullest. You never know how much time you have left, and so just to live life and be happy like Colton did. He was always cheerful, and I think a lot of people can take away from how he lived his life and just be a positive effect in others.
Bedford made one heck of a push in the state playoffs. They matched their best season ever before losing by a single point to CC in the regional final. After Colton Durbin passed away, Bedford was flooded with letters and tributes from all across the state, from rivals to college programs, sending their prayers. And to everyone who supported the school, the football program, and the Durbin family, they all wanted to say, to all of those who sent their thoughts and prayers, a very heartfelt thank you. It's 21-21 at halftime here at Ford Field. We'll have more coming up after these words. (21-21) at halftime. Halftime highlights are brought to you by Arby's. In the first minute of play, a quick strike touchdown to Van Voorst, and then Jared Matheson with a short dive from the one to tie the game. After a turnover, the long shot down the middle to Pete Patsalis gave Marine City the lead. But this game, well, this is what it looked like. Back and forth they went. Quarterback John Wassing, a terrific cut following his blocks, a 50-yard touchdown run. Then look at this run from Sapienza, getting to the edge, staying in bounds, the lean into the end zone to give Marine City a 7-point lead. The final seconds ticking down in the first half. A terrific play, fighting off the interference. Kyle Hahn with the catch to tie the game with 12 seconds left in the first half. That's a heck of a first 24 minutes of play. Marine City and Grand Rapids South Christian have combined for 42 points. The second half kickoff is coming up next. Back at Ford Field, Dan Dickerson, John Wangler, halftime in the Division IV state championship game, 21-21 tie. Back and forth we went in the first half, and John, the yardage totals are very similar. What stands out to you?
Particularly, Marine City's done a little better job on third down conversion, but you know, it's a 21-21 game, so it's going to look pretty even.
It's about what we expected. As the marching band leaves the field, we're looking for some more beautiful music in the second half. Can't beat the first half. We'll try to when we come back.
With Marine City coach Ron Glodich, a tough first half, going a little bit back and forth, but their quarterback really came back and was able to lead them and get that last touchdown to tie it.
Everything we expected. He's a very good football player. It's a very good football team. So we need to do our job and stop big plays and continue to pound the rock, and hopefully that takes over in the fourth quarter.
We hadn't talked about it, but your father's in the hospital, unable to be at this game today. You got a message for him?
Yeah, get better, Dad. We're thinking about you. Love you.
Take it back for the second half. Marine City tied at 21, looking to get the state championship. Back to you guys up in the booth.
All right, Rod. John, we heard Mark Tamiga, the head coach for Grand Rapids South Christian, talk about he was not happy with how his line defensively was being dominated by Marine City. So we'll talk about the adjustments that South Christian has to make when we come back. 21-21 at the half. The third quarter kickoff is coming up next.
Marine City will receive to begin the second half. Trevor Quant is the team receiver for the Mariners.
Getting ready for the second half of the Division IV state championship game. You couldn't ask for a better first half. 21-21 game as the game went back and forth. Marine City kicked off to start the game, so the Mariners will get the ball to start the second half. Kyle Hahn will kick it off for Grand Rapids South Christian. Kick to the 10. The keep is Matheson. Up the middle, he's got some running room across the 40, up to midfield, steps out of a tackle, gets a block, down the sideline, to the 15, 5, touchdown! Jared Matheson goes 91 yards. Trevor Quant with a big block to free him, and Marine City strikes to start the second half.
And that's exactly why they run that starburst. As you can see, now watch this here in the middle, okay? Fake, fake. Matheson's coming right up the middle, holding on to the football. And I'll tell you, one thing a lot of teams don't do, now watch him spin out of this one, uses athleticism. He picks up a block there, huge block, down the sideline. He's out running guys, he's off to the races. Most teams will not kick to a starburst. That's how they defend it.
Olivia Viney with the extra point. This is an incredible game so far.
Great faking. They're all running with their arms. Matthews goes right up the gut, and then he picks up a block. He breaks through that first wave, and he spins out, uses a great move. Now he picks up a block here, and then he's gone.
Trevor Quant, the junior running back, with that big block that freed him after he spun out of the tackle at midfield.
And that's why they all wear those black armbands, Dan. Makes it very difficult to see the football.
And the first time, John, it didn't look like they hid the ball as well. It was a concerted effort that time. You could tell to make sure they all had that same look.
Yeah, but they rolled over the football. They did a great job faking, and it's very, very difficult to stop.
Jacob Ryan will kick off. We'll talk about the adjustments each team has to make after this kickoff. Marine City back on top by 7. The big plays we have seen in this game. Kickoff, kind of a line drive, and that is going to go out of bounds. Boy, it looked like it almost hit Van Voorst, but the flag flies, so the far side referee decided it did not. Let's talk about the halftime adjustments. We heard from South Christian. They want to see better running game, a little more of a balance, and for Marine City, they want to slow down the quick strike from South Christian.
Yeah, the offenses are doing fine. It's these defenses that got to make adjustments.
Re-kick.
We heard the referee, they will re-kick after the ball went out of bounds.
But yeah, it's a defensive issue, right? the adjustments that have to be made by South Christian is how do they combat the unbalanced line? How do they combat the multiple formations? How do they stop the off tackle of Marine City when they use different looks? And then what Marine City has to do is they have to slow down this quick strike offense. These guys are ripping up huge yardage, both running the football and throwing the football. Wassing, how are they going to slow those down and take some air out of the football?
We talked about how both defenses were getting better, but John, we're seeing two offenses that look like they're at the peak of their games right now. Do you anticipate that we're going to see anything other than what we saw in the first half?
Well, if you're a defensive coordinator, you'd hope so, Dan. But the other situation, you're playing indoors. There's no elements. This is a perfect scenario, perfect climate to put a bunch of points up on the board. These are two offenses that are very high-powered.
Van Voorst and Plasman deep. Ryan with the kick. Van Voorst has gotten it almost every time, but this time it's Plasman across the 40. Brought down there, but good field position for South Christian. We've seen a 50-yard touchdown run, a 52-yard passing play, a 91-yard kickoff return, a 52-yard interception return, followed by a long passing play. This has been a game of big plays so far for both teams. So South Christian gets the ball for the first time. We're 23 seconds into the second half, and we've already seen a touchdown by Marine City. Plasman in the backfield with Wasson. He'll get the ball, and he's got running room at midfield, and he's right at the first down marker. A first down before Jake Shermataro brings him down, but a big gain on first down for Jeff Plasman, who gained almost 1,100 yards through the first 13 games.
Well, Plasman gets some nice push by that offensive line. They come out in the second half, they're refreshed. They've gotten off the field, and I'll tell you, it's an off-tackle play coming out from a different formation. It's straight ahead power football.
First and 10 for the Sailors of Grand Rapids South Christian. Keeper, Wassing to the outside, can't get to the edge. Good defensive play. Joe Mazur in on the tackle, helped by Alec Adams. Let's go down to Rod Beard, who has an update on Tanner Starr, who remember was hurt in the first half and had to come off with some assistance.
Yeah, Tanner Starr's got a knee injury. His return is doubtful. They don't think he's going to be able to make it back today.
All right, Rod, thank you. Starr, a junior linebacker. Part of that tough linebacking core for Marine City. Spread offense, 4 wide receivers on most downs for Grand Rapids South Christian. The hard count did not get anybody to jump. Plasman, room up the middle, steps out of one tackle, dragging tacklers with him. The 5'10", 180-pound junior, again finally brought down, but only after a gain of 9. Jake Shermataro is the one who brought him down, but another first down for the Sailors.
Well, that offensive line is getting some great push. I think maybe because they're rested. They caught him in a blitz. Marine City was blitzing. They pushed him. They hit their assignment. That time Plasman picked his way.
Casey Elzinger, the center, starter on the state championship team a year ago. Travis Steenwick on the right guard, the senior leader on that line. Wassink flushed, throws downfield, has a man. Whoa! Flipped up into the air. Hybor made the catch and hung on. Shaken up a little, but he gets up. What a grab by the junior wide receiver.
Again, nice job coming back to the football. They flushed out Wassink out of the pocket. Hybor settles in that seam right there, goes high to catch the ball, hangs on and gets upended. Great concentration there by Hybor.
That is not an easy ball to hang on to. Landing like that, a gain of 15. And South Christian on the move again. The give is up the middle, and this time, Mariners stuff. Plasman right at the line of scrimmage. Eddie Crampton leading the way defensively for Marine City. Mariners holding on to a 7-point lead after the Matheson 91-yard kickoff return to start the second half. Play comes in from the sideline. Wassink has the trust of his head coach, Mark Tamangun. He has the power to make changes at the line of scrimmage and call his own plays, especially when they're in the hurry-up, which we have not really seen so far except at the end of the first half. Wasink throws on the slant cut in anticipation. That time, Pete Petsalis stepped in front of the receiver and just knocked it down and away from Eric Van Voorst.
Great play there by Petsalis. They tried to run a slant in front of him, and Van der Voorst was not able to get in between him. Van der Voorst, nice play, nice break on the ball. They're blitzing the linebackers. It was a good call and great defensive play.
So now 3rd and 10. Grand Rapids South Christian has not faced many of these. 4 of 7 on 3rd downs today. Empty backfield. 3 wides to the left. Screen right. Van Voorst inside the 15, but he's going to be brought down shy of the first down. Jacob Headley, the sophomore linebacker, brings him down, and you would think down 7, and with the high-powered offense that they have, the South Christian would go forward right here. Kyle Hahn can kick a field goal. He has a couple this year.
They caught him in a blitz, and good call against a blitz package. Van Voorst did a nice job.
4th and 4 from just inside the 15. Empty backfield again. Wasink with a hard count. Did he get the flag? He did. The Mariners jump offside, and a first down for Grand Rapids South Christian.
Dead ball, encroachment on the defense. Play's going to result in a first down.
He got both Kyle Scharnweber and Eddie Crampton to jump.
Well, it's been a cat and mouse game all afternoon between Wasink and the defense of Marine City. They're stemming and stunting and slanting and pulling out and backing out. That time he caught him right in the middle. They got it encroachment.
Hahn, Klasman, Highbore out to the left. Van Voorst to the right. Keeper Wasink on first down. He's going to lose a couple. Nobody fooled. Eddie Crampton leading the way defensively, makes the tackle in the backfield, loss of a couple.
They tried to bring motion. They faked to the motion guy coming through. Wasink kept the ball, was not fooled at all. Crampton came down and made a nice stop.
First down was inside the 10, so it's 2nd and goal from the 11 for the Sailors. Down 7, almost to the midway point of the 3rd quarter here at Ford Field. Division 4 championship game the Sailors are trying to repeat as the State 4 champions. The Division 4 champions. Wasink looking right, fake. Now he's going to look left, but he's in trouble. Gets a block, frees him up, beats one man inside the 10. Wasink dives for the end zone, out of bounds. So say the referees at the 3. 8-yard gain, and again a big block in the backfield. Taylor Meyerling on Eddie Crampton freed him up.
They were trying to go to a fade to the front side of the field. That time, great coverage. Wasink did a wonderful job extending the play and almost getting into the end zone, but great coverage on Marine City's part.
You see the left foot going out of bounds at the 3. 3rd and goal. Wasink has 21 rushing touchdowns this season. Klasman with him in the backfield along with Taylor Meyerling. 3rd and goal. Wasink, the keeper, cuts it up toward the end zone, and he is ruled down just shy of the goal line. They are going to say, look where the referees are going to spot this ball.
Nothing fancy there, just quarterback sneak. Look at a huge hole here by Wasink. Right side, he waits till he opens it up, dives into the end zone, almost lost the football there. He's lucky to be held onto it though. Really just a quarterback ISO.
Did lose the football, and that's why it was not a touchdown. Ball is on the goal line. Wasink sneaks and scores. Grand Rapids South Christian answers, and now an extra point away from tying it up again.
Nice drive by Grand Rapids Christian. They used the clock. They picked up first downs. Rushing, they threw the ball when they had to, pick up some key first downs. Wassink made some big plays, extended them. Great drive to answer for South Christian.
Kyle Hahn on now to kick the extra point. Extra points extremely important in this game. Both kickers perfect so far. This extra point is up and it is good. 91-yard kickoff return and then a solid drive from South Christian. Wassink carrying the load the last 3 plays, gets in the end zone, and we're tied up again. Dan Dickerson, John Wangler back at Ford Field, a 28-28 game. The scoring drive, it's the second straight scoring drive of 11 plays for South Christian. They had an 11-play, 65-yard drive just before the half, John, and that's the kind of thing their head coach, Mark Tamiga, wants to see. John Wassink has thrown for 2 and run for 2.
Well, he's done it all. It's been a great, he came out the second half, did what he had to do. It shows why he's such a dual-threat quarterback. Well, they didn't kick to him.
No, they didn't. They go short this time.
They learned their lesson.
Sapienza gets it across the 30-yard line. You would think we're not going to see another kick deep by South Christian in this game.
I would not guess that, anticipate that.
So Marine City goes back on offense. First time in the second half after the big kickoff return to start the second half. They've had a 15-play drive and an 8-play drive. And those 2 drives both covered, well, 70 and 80 yards.
These guys have been sitting for a long time.
Give straight up the middle. Sapienza, nothing doing on first down, gains maybe a yard. Well, Mark Tamiga made no bones about it. He wanted to see more out of his defensive line. Do you think the defensive line for the Sailors heard about it from Mark Tamiga at halftime, John?
Well, I think they did, and I think they got refreshed. That time Marine City tried to run a trap play, and they just shut it down. So these big fellas got their legs on them again, and it's going to be tough to move out of there.
Second and long. Sapienza, Matheson in the backfield. And back to throw is Merchant. Deep down the left sideline. Caught by Petsalis into the end zone. Touchdown! 64-yard strike. Merchant to Petsalis, who got behind the secondary again. And Marine City with a quick strike offense, John. And they're back on top.
Wow, great fake here. Just a little bootleg fake. They faked out of a 2-back. Nice job there by Merchant, putting it up in the air. Petsalis ran right by those guys. What Grand Rapids is doing is they're really committing to the run, right? They're very much committed, and that time Petsalis just ran right by him. He ran right by that corner.
Terrific throw by Merchant. The extra point is up, and it is good from Olivia Viney. This is incredible. Alex Merchant on the money to Petsalis. And Marine City back on top by 7 again.
There's more than one way for kids to take part in high school sports. Michigan High School Athletic Association, in cooperation with the Michigan Association of Broadcasters Foundation, will again provide inspiring sports broadcasters and video producers to be recognized through the Student Broadcaster Awards. For more information, visit the MAB website at mishmab.org.
Marine City leading 35-28, and they're playing for a special member of their community, Owen Salisbury, a 7-year-old, and Coach Ron Tamiga had a lot to say. Ron Glow just had a lot to say about that.
neat thing about Marine City, we're very community-oriented, very family-oriented, and a strong family in our community. The Salisbury family have a young man, 7-year-old Owen, who is fighting cancer, and as of now, we believe the doctors are saying that things are moving in the right direction. We're wearing a sticker on our helmet to support Owen today, and it says Team Owen on it.
All the Marine City players are wearing this sticker on their helmets for Owen Salisbury as a motivation and to show that they're thinking about him. It's definitely showing up in the scoreboard so far today. They're up by 7 points. Back to you guys in the booth.
All right, Ron Glodich, native of Warren, said he'd never really heard of Marine City at the time he was offered a job there. And he said, John, it just fit his personality and how he'd been raised. Just a lot of hard work. That's how he was raised as a kid. He said he just fits so well into that community, and now he's been there for more than 2 decades, and he just loves it there.
They're a great community out there. I mean, the whole town is behind those guys.
And the kickoff goes out of bounds, untouched.
On the kickoff, there's a look at the sticker. Flag on the play on the kickoff.
Legal procedure on the kick team are going to re-kick.
So for the second time, Marine City will have to re-kick. But John, one of the things that Mark Tamiga, the South Christian head coach, was saying is that his terrific defender, Eric Van Voorst, who plays both ways, hardly ever gets beat deep. And one of the, I mean, he's been beat deep a couple of times, and not to pick on him, but it just tells you how good the fakes are that's bringing up that defensive secondary.
And that's the great part of that offense, is when you're such a multiple look, ball control, fake offense, run offense, everyone's coming up playing the run, then they throw the ball deep on you, and you're getting great success.
Flasman takes the kick across the 40. And again, South Christian, this is the thing that stood out all day long. They've started good field position on almost every possession. Jacob Headley brings him down across the 40-yard line. It's a big hit.
Real nice.
Pads are cracking there.
You can hear it up here. Well, and getting back to that one point, I'm sure at halftime those guys were whipped pretty good about playing the run, right?
Yeah.
So you got not only the linemen and the linebackers, but the secondaries coming up. They really want to stop that run.
But twice they've gotten behind that secondary for big plays. 2 long touchdown throws, one of 30 and one of 64. South Christian trying to answer again. The give. Plasman, not much running room on the right side. Jacob Headley brings him down after a short gain on first down. We're in the Division IV state championship game, Ford Field in downtown Detroit, wrapping up day 1. There are 8 championships decided in the 2 days. A terrific tradition following the Detroit Lions' traditional Thursday Thanksgiving Day game. 8 football championships on Friday and Saturday here at Ford Field. Grand Rapids South Christian against Marine City. The keep by Wasink, and Marine City shuts him down after a short gain. Couple of runs have netted maybe 3 yards, setting up 3rd and 7 now for the Sailors.
Well, Marine City's done a nice job adjusting to that quarterback sweep. They've had a little success in the first half, but the second half they've tried it a few times. Marine City has adjusted nicely and been able to shut that thing down.
Punts have been in short supply here today. 5 of 8 on 3rd downs. Wasink under pressure, brought down in the backfield. Alec Adams applying the pressure, knocks him down, and now we will see a rare punt. South Christian.
Great coverage there by secondary Marine City. Adams coming off the corner, but they were playing man under. Everybody was covered. He had no chance to throw the ball down, and that time Adams just got to him. Great play, both secondary-wise and pressure from the defensive line. They're containing South Christian for the first time.
Kyle Hahn with his second punt of the day. Remember the first time he was just trying to pooch it, and it went off the side of his foot. He averages 41 yards a punt. Low line drive here will be fielded by Matheson. Matheson has some blocks. They're sealing off the left sideline for him. Oh, he stepped out of bounds. It looked like he might go for a ways. Tackle made down the field. We're going to have a flag because the whistle had blown, and the contact, the South Christian defender didn't realize, that was Kyle Hahn, didn't realize that the whistle had blown because he'd stepped out of bounds about 10 yards upfield. Great blocking on this return.
Yeah, they got nice. He got to the wall that time. He was getting ready to get going. He stepped out there. Hahn, well, we don't know if he realized or he didn't there.
It looked like he was just going to bump him, and then I think that when he tried to throw him down and actually fell down himself.
Personal foul.
That's when it was called.
He hit out of bounds here.
I think, did the referee just point the wrong way? He had to point the wrong way.
Yep.
He just pointed to Marine City. And that is apparently the call. We have an injured player down on the field. South Christian player gets up. Good to see, Eddie.
So that was against Marine City.
James Gonchis was the injured player, but again, he's up under his own power. Now, personal foul on Marine City. I'm trying to figure that one out, John.
Something was done or said that we obviously couldn't see from up here, because it sure looked like it was a hit out of bounds. But you can see Ryan Glodes is not real happy.
It was Hahn. It looked like he had tried to deliver an extra blow and fell down. And then Marine City called for the penalty. Marine City up by 7 with the ball. Up until this point, every time they've taken the lead, South Christian has answered. So this is their first really opportunity to make it a 2-score lead. 9 penalties, 70 yards against Marine City. And again, a different look for South Christian. One man in the backfield. They give us to Matheson, trying to pick his way in the middle, and there's very little there. Merchant over the sidelines. They have a quick word with his head coach, Ron Glodich. Ron Glodich, the head coach, offensive coordinator for 22 years.
Defensive line is definitely getting some penetration there for South Christian. They're doing a nice job. They've made some adjustments at halftime, and they're not getting the hole. Marine City's not getting the holes they got that first half inside.
Second and long. And whistles blow. And Ron Glodich want a timeout.
Timeout, Marine City.
The injured player Gonchis was shaken up, but we understand from Rod Beard down on the sidelines, he will be back. He's okay. Timeout called here by Marine City. Ron Glodich was animated on that far sideline trying to get the officials' attention before that ball was snapped, and the second and long. MHSAA.TV will have live streaming coverage of the postgame press conference from this game. Plus, you'll find an archive of all of this weekend's championship games. Get bonus coverage of the football finals at MHSAA.TV. Ron Glodich talking things over with his offense. John, right now, South Christian doesn't know what to defend against.
Well, yeah, they're mixing it up pretty well here.
Only the 4th offensive play of the 3rd quarter for Marine City because of all their big plays so far. Merchant again looking. He's got a man behind the secondary. Down to the 40-yard line. Another big play. Joe Mazur, who's played mostly on the defensive side of the ball, has now become a threat
that time
on the offensive side.
Dan, they just ran Missouri right up the seam there, and they caught those guys in the 2 deep coverage. They ran them right up the seam, Beautiful execution there by Marine City.
All the way to the 37-yard line. Give in the backfield. Bouncing off tacklers, but not much running room in the end for Tate Sapienza. Big strikes for Marine City all day. Look at the big plays, the kickoff return. The first time they ran that star formation didn't work, and then a 91-yard kickoff return, and then passing plays, 64 and 39 yards. As we said, well, it's a wing T offense. It's a modified wing T, and they will throw, and Merchant has certainly shown that today.
They got a lot of new wrinkles, and they've, as we mentioned, they've thrown the ball much more and much more effectively this year than they have in a long time.
Pete Patsalos gets the carry down at the 30-yard line. Kyle Hahn makes the stop, setting up 3rd and short, 3rd and 3 for Marine City. So far, South Christian has not been able to get a stop on Marine City. Sapienza left side, right at that first down marker, and
it's going to be close.
It looks like, well, we'll have to wait and see. He is right on the marker, and it is 4th down. Taylor Marling on the stop for South Christian. No doubt about it. Marine City is going to go for it on 4th and what appears to be just a matter of inches. Quickly up to the ball. Merchant under center. Give left side, Sapienza. 1st down and more. Inside the 10. Inside the 5. Dragged down. A yard shy of the goal line. Kyle Hahn makes the tackle after a gain of 27.
Well, that's always the danger when it's 4th and short. Everyone's stacked up there, and he just pops it. Sapienza does a nice job running behind. He's got a nice hole, scampers through there, keeps his balance, and then he's running right to the goal line.
Matheson and Sapienza both with big plays today, and when the other guy's making the big play, the other guy's throwing the block. Matheson that time with a big block to free Sapienza for the 27-yard gain.
They really complement each other, and that's the 2nd time they've had a big play coming off an unbalanced line here in this 3rd quarter.
3 more touchdowns in the 3rd quarter. Team who has the ball last may win this one. It's a heck of a game. Division IV state championship game. Marine City trying to make it a 2-touchdown lead when we come back. Five touchdowns for Marine City in the 2nd and 3rd quarters in this game. 21 more points. And John, you were impressed by this play to Joe Mazur.
Yeah, one of the big plays here. They had Joe Mazur here, the tight end. He came right up the seam. So he outside releases. It comes right up here. As you can see, once we start the play, they look front side, and he goes right up and right down the seam, and they do not roll the coverage because they were unbalanced to the field. And that's really what moving these linemen around is creating mismatches and advantages. And that time, Grand Rapids did not adjust. That's what allowed that tight end to go right up the seam.
Give up the middle. What a push up front. Touchdown, Marine City. Jared Matheson on the carry. And the Mariners up by 2 touchdowns.
Big drive. They mixed it up extremely well coming down this stretch here, Dan. They're doing a nice job, whether it's formation, they're keeping them off balance with just enough passing, and then they're popping those guys through, whether it's Matheson or Pitsalis or Sapienza. They're making huge plays coming down the stretch.
Olivia Viney on for the extra point. She's been perfect today. That's her 6th extra point of the day. She's having fun and her teammates love it.
Is this more fun than soccer?
Let's take it down to Rod Beard on the sidelines.
Yep, for Olivia Viney, that's 6 extra points today, as you mentioned, but 60 out of 64 for the season, and that makes her the all-time single-season extra point leader with that 60. Amazing, amazing day for Olivia Viney.
It's a unique story. There just haven't been many. There have been some, but not many female kickers in high school football. And she's displaying quite an accurate and powerful leg on these extra points.
That's great stuff. It really is.
I think she's having as much fun as anybody in this entire stadium today. That smile on her face couldn't be any bigger. And Marine City, John, just so impressive with what they're doing offensively. They're mixing everything up beautifully, and South Christian has not had an answer all day long.
Well, yeah, there's been spurts where they've shut them down, but then just when you think they figured them out, they pop a big one, and like you said, they're mixing it up very, very well, and they're not really known to be such a type of an offense where they throw in passes effectively as they have.
Low line drive kick. Returned by Ryan Veenstra across the 30-yard line, and now the pressure is on. South Christian has to score and then has to figure out a way to stop Marine City. Down 2 touchdowns, the biggest lead for either team today. South Christian had a 7-point lead 58 seconds into the game, and then you saw the scoring by quarters. 21 points in the second quarter, 14 in the third for Marine City.
4 wide.
And they've split Wasink out to the side. He's going to get the ball and get a block across the 40. So it was Plasman to the quarterback Wasink for a gain of about 8 on first down.
A little role reversal there. Plasman getting the pass, throws a low one, showing Wasink showing his athletic ability, catches a low one, and a low liner, and picks up a nice gain.
Temptation there is to go down to a knee to catch that ball. If he had, it would have been, play would have been dead. So Plasman with the completion, now 4 wides to the right. And again, Plasman, the quarterback.
It's a Wildcat.
Throws right side again, Wasink. Putting the hands in their playmaker, putting the ball in the hands of their playmaker, Wasink. Inside the 35, flag thrown after Wasink was thrown to the ground by Jared Matheson. And they're going to tack on 15 more. Sam Hybor with a terrific block that time to free Wasink.
Twice now they've gone to that formation.
Personal foul, face mask on White. We're going to enforce 15 yards on the run. Play's going to result in a first down.
Here it is, out to Wasink. He gets behind, good blocking there. Picks it up, he's breaking free, coming across. There it is at the end of the play.
Yep. You can see the face mask.
Yeah.
It was quick, but
he took his hands off it, but it
took his head around, spun his head around.
They had him.
So South Christian in the red zone, inside the 20 already. Wasink back under center. Creative play calling, though, by Grand Rapids South Christian. They want Wasink to make some plays, and he's 2 big plays and 2 passes from Plasman. Wasink keeps running short side of the field. He'll be tripped up. That's good defensive play by Pete Patsalis. He seems to be involved in just about every play, offensively and defensively. He's had a big day for the Mariners.
Patsalis did a nice job coming up from the safety position, fending off a block, making a nice open field tackle on Wasink, who's not easy to bring down.
No gain on first down. 4 wideouts. Plasman in the backfield with Wasson. South Christian down by 14. Heavy pressure. Flip right on the wide receiver screen. Van Voorst inside the 10. Stays in bounds. Touchdown! Eric Van Voorst, 19-yard touchdown strike, and Grand Rapids South Christian back to within a touchdown.
Great call by South Christian. They spread him wide, 2 receivers to both sides. That time Wasson just looked off, came back to a little wide receiver screen. They brought all the big uglies out there to lead the way, and they got him into the end zone. Look at these guys rolling. Nice job.
The push and almost out of bounds, but did a terrific job to walk the tightrope down the line. Kyle Hahn on for the extra point and tucked it inside that left goal post. And back to a 7-point game. Grand Rapids South Christian answers. What a wild one in the Division IV state championship game. Sailors of Grand Rapids South Christian needed a quick strike. They got it. John had finishes off on the screen pass to Van Voorst.
Watch the escort here. We got the big fellas right in here. We got Elzinga, Steinwick, and Gonchis all leading the way into the end zone. The linebacker got caught inside, and Van Voorst made a nice play, staying in bounds, but he had great blocking. Screens are very hard to execute, and these guys do a great job doing that. It takes a lot of practice. It's a very timing. It's got to be precise, and Grand Rapids does a tremendous job executing their variety of screens.
Van Voorst, it was funny talking to head coach Mark Tamiga about him this week. He said, if you watch this guy walk down the hallway at school, you're thinking chess club or math club maybe, but not varsity football player. But he said, this kid is such a good athlete. He said he can walk into a gym barefoot and dunk the ball. He said, this kid has been so good, and he's good on both sides of the ball. And boy, has he been terrific today. The short pooch kick down to the 24, bobbled and out of bounds. Oh, Sapienza lost it and fortunately went out of bounds. Fortunate for Marine City, it went out of bounds. What a battle here today. We get down to the sidelines now and Rod Beer to talk about another battle.
Yeah, certainly got a battle with both teams on the field, but don't forget to follow the status of the hashtag Tug of War on Twitter. You can use hashtag Go Mariners for Marine City or hashtag Go Sailors for Grand Rapids South Christian. Also, if you got your fan photos, you can submit those via Twitter at hashtag FSD Prep Zone. Back to you guys.
All right, Rod. Marine City with the ball at their own 25, leading by 7. They've had a couple of drives that have taken some serious time off the clock. They would love to do the same right here. This is when their head coach Ron Glodich believes the offensive line becomes a big part of what they're trying to do. Give is to Sapienza, right side, a gain of 5. They really feel like this is when they can start to wear teams down, John. They can stick on the ground to great effect.
Well, and this is exactly what they want to do here. They come out of a T formation here, just a sweep to the right. They got 2 lead blockers, the 2 backs. They'll be happy with 3-4 yard gains right now and just moving the chains.
Todd Postma, the senior defensive tackle on the hit that time for Grand Rapids South Christian. Now it's Matheson in the backfield. Quick toss left to Pat Salas. Pat Salas across the 35. He's got a first down Well-designed play, picks up good yardage, first down for Marine City before Zach Brinkert makes the play.
It's a great play. It's very safe. You just split out Pitsalis, do a little hitch route. You get him the football and then let him do what he does. Nice block out there on the edge. Gave him a chance to pick up another 4 yards. They'll take that all day long, Dan.
2 receivers, Van Voorst for Grand Rapids South Christian and Pitsalis for Marine City, both have gone over 1,000 yards for the season receiving with their days today.
Cole Avers made that key block out there. Nice job.
Give up the middle. Matheson spinning across the 45. Gains an extra few yards. Boy, he keeps those legs churning, doesn't he?
He really does. Good body lean, keeps the legs churning. This is the trap that Marine City is so famous for, okay? They pull their guard, number 63, traps it out, and they just grind yardage. Dylan Miller was the one pulling on that one.
Gain of 8 on first down. 2nd and short. Sapienza running right side has the first down across midfield. Gain of 4. John Wasink in defensively. He has not played a whole lot defensively, the quarterback for Grand Rapids South Christian, but he's in there now. He had a couple of picks last week against a Comstock Park team that liked to pass the ball, and right now his head coach, Mark Tamiga, believes that he's got to have his best men on the field, and he's got Tamiga out there, or he's got his quarterback, John Wasink, out there.
And he came up, he did a nice job accelerating to make that tackle.
Give Matheson. Breaks a tackle, but he's met by a whole host of tacklers. Boomsma and Kyle Hahn leading the charge that time. Short gain on first down, clock ticking inside of 8 minutes here in the Division IV state championship game. It has been a terrific game. If you like offense and big plays and just a well-played football game, this has been a lot of fun to watch.
Matheson just keeps his feet moving. That time they pulled both guards trying to get in front of Matheson. They'll do a lot of pulling and trapping, Marine City will. They'll do false pulls. They'll give all different kinds of looks to confuse that defense.
Give left side, and again, the Sailors swarm to the ball, led by Todd Postma. If he gained anything, it was only a yard, setting up 3rd and 6 from inside the 45 of Grand Rapids South Christian.
Well, that time they're starting to play, they're starting to give Marine City some of their own medicine. They're bringing linebackers. They're starting to be a little bit more aggressive. They know they got to get a stop. They cannot allow these guys to keep picking up first downs and churning up yardage.
Marine City looks like they're going to burn another timeout right here. They're just going to let the clock run and then call a timeout, it looks like, just before. Yep. Head coach Ron Gloditz standing right there by the official. And that's smart. Don't call the timeout right away. Let the clock run a little bit. We're reaching almost the midway point of the 4th quarter. Grand Rapids South Christian trailing by 7.
The MHSAA High School Football Finals are brought to you by Arby's. Try Arby's King's Hawaiian Roast Beef Sandwich, back for a limited time at Arby's.
3rd and 6. Fans on both sides of the field on their feet. Merchant back to throw. Quick toss right side. Pitsalis across the 40, and he's got the first down. Just past the first down marker. Terrific play. Merchant under pressure completes it for 8 to Pitsalis.
Huge play coming out of an unbalanced line. They just set up a little screen. They get the lineman out in front of Pitsalis. Nice job. Again, going to that unbalanced line and coming back and throwing back. Set up well. They got the lineman in front. They pulled, similar to what South Christian did when they scored that touchdown with Vanderveers.
Paul Carbone, the big right tackle. Ethan Cleve, the right guard, out there leading the screen for Marine City. A big first down. Grand Rapids South Christian has not been able to get a stop on this offense. Left side running, big hole for Pitsalis again. He can catch the ball, he can run the ball, and he's right near the first down marker. A gain of 9 on first down. Zach Brinkert, the senior safety, brings him down.
Well, that time they got a huge hole there, and Petsalis just did a nice job following those blockers. They're starting to wear on this big defensive line for South Christian. Those guys have been out there a long time. This what happens. They get worn down later in the fourth quarter. That's what Marine City's game plan is.
That was a terrific tackle by Wasink that time. There's a give up the middle on 2nd and 1, and they get the first down, a gain of 3. Jared Matheson does the job. You would think, John, with the way the clock is running, the way the offensive line is opening holes, that Marine City content to probably keep it on the ground or another safe pass like we saw earlier in the drive.
Well, they're doing a good job mixing it up between going unbalanced and dropping a trap in there, or then when they have to throw a screen or a real safe hitch route, doing a beautiful job executing on this drive.
Run formation here on first down. Give up the middle. Bouncing off one lineman, kicking it to the left is Jared Matheson. Not a bad pickup on first down, almost 4 yards. Again, Zach Brinkert in on the tackle. Clock running under 5 minutes. Marine City trying to make it a 2-touchdown game or 2-score game. Olivia Viney has been perfect on her extra points today. Be interesting to see if they stall, say, a little bit closer than this, whether she'd get a shot at a field goal. She does have one this year.
I was going to say they bring her up for that.
Give right side. Petsalis tripped up after a short gain by David Boomsma.
This time they went unbalanced right again, and Grand Rapids did a nice job. Boomsma was not fooled. He came up from his linebacker position. They got good penetration, stopping him for a loss.
South Christian needs a stop, but from here you would think 2 cracks at a first down if need be for Marine City. South Christian fans on their feet on the near side. Same for the Marine City fans on the far side. And timeout is called by Marine City. That's their last one. Ron Glodich wants to talk things over with his team. We talked earlier. He just loves this team, how close they are, and the work ethic, that blue-collar work ethic that he grew up with.
When we see size-wise matchup, you'll see some huge differences there. But we pride ourselves on being blue-collar and the way we work. And these kids are overachievers and take nothing for granted, and they've worked for everything they've gained. So they have a very eager chip on their shoulder right now to prove they belong.
Last time out, obviously not ideal, but John, it looked like it was Glodich who called it. They wanted to make sure.
Well, it's a huge play, and they want to make sure they got the right play coming in now. One of the plays that they've been very effective on in this down and distance situation has been a counter with the wingback. So we'll take a look. If they're in that formation, you can look for that wingback to get a counter and try to come back against the grain and pick up these yardage. Or they've been doing a nice job with play action passing today, Dan.
Sapienza, Matheson, both over 100 yards, as you saw. 3rd and 6 from the 20. Merchant under center. Back to throw. Looking right side. Has a man inside the 5. Touchdown! Pete Petsalis with another catch for a touchdown, and Marine City back on top by 2 TDs.
Still the best route in football. Perfectly executed flag route by Petsalis. You see him, little fake. He runs a nice diagonal. The ball's a little underthrown. He goes up high, catches it, and fights for the end zone. A great effort by Petsalis. Nice route. Merchant laying the ball out there. Huge, huge score for Marine City.
What a job by Petsalis to get into the end zone. Olivia Viney adds to her record-setting total with her 7th extra point of the day. Petsalis has been an incredible weapon for a team that doesn't throw a lot They have been big through the air today as Olivia Viney accepts congratulations from her teammates. Pat Salas has been getting behind the secondary, and that time, as you said, John, perfectly thrown ball, and what a great effort to dive for the flag to get into the end zone. Pat Salas came into the game just under 1,000 yards. He's had a big day today, and credit to Alex Merchant. Thrown for over 1,600 yards this year. He's taking care of the ball, John.
He really has. He's shown he's a great ball handler. He's been very deceptive with his fakes. They've set up these pass plays and these play actions very, very well. And Pat Salas did a wonderful job pinning that corner inside and then going up high for the ball and fighting to get in the end zone.
Squib kick down to the 30-yard line. Across the 40. Don't count out South Christian. Sam Hybor on the return. Again, good field position. Look at the second half. It started like this. A 91-yard touchdown return. Jarrett Matheson got a key block to score. And then the Mariners just keep adding on. Pat Salas got behind the secondary for the second time. A 64-yard touchdown catch. And then that great push up front. A 1-yard touchdown run. Still really plenty of time for a quick strike offense to score. Good defense that time, Eric Van Voorst. You would think no huddle, and it will be for South Christian. They do this during the regular season. They're used to going no huddle if need be. That means the quarterback, Wasink, is calling the plays.
Plenty of time, Dan, with a team like this. Plenty of time.
Wasink back to throw under pressure, threw into tight coverage and a little bit behind Sam Hybor.
Well, he was under pressure. They got pressure off the edge, and he was lucky to get that ball out. That's why I was a little bit behind. Watch him. You see him off the backside there. He felt that pressure, and that's why he short-armed him just a little bit.
Alec Adams, his head coach. Ron Glodich singing his praises during the week about the job he's been doing applying pressure from the side. 3rd and 5. Quick toss, left side, first down, Van Voorst out of bounds. Perfect play on 3rd and 5 to stop the clock, gain of 8 to move the sticks.
Van Voorst does a nice job just doing just a hitch route, knows where he's got to get to, gets out of bounds, well executed plays. Dan said these guys are used to running this type of offense, and these guys can move the ball in a hurry.
42-yard line throw down the middle high. That's a throw that he's been having problems with today, intended for Van Voorst, and you get the feeling, John, we haven't watched South Christian a lot, but they've been making that play a lot this year.
Yeah, they really have it, and he's just, he's 2-3 feet high.
Yeah.
And, there's credit the coverage of Marine City, too. There's guys on him, and I think he's nervous about trying to stick it right in there.
2nd and 10 from the 42. Grand Rapids South Christian down 2 touchdowns. And a big day for Van Voorst, leading target all season long. He scored on a couple of perfectly executed screens. Wasink rolling. Looking deep into the end zone. It's going to be intercepted by Matheson. He was the only one back there, and he played it perfectly. And Marine City up 14 has the ball with 2:48 to go.
Well, he was flushed out of the pocket. He was trying to make a play. I think he was trying to throw the ball, well, out of the end zone, but great play by Marine City.
Looked like he might have been looking for Veenstra. Hahn was down there as well, and just couldn't quite get it to the spot he wanted.
Well, Matheson made a huge play. He had a nice break on it. There was 2 guys down there. I don't know if he was trying to throw it away or try to drop it in there, but Matheson comes up with a tremendous interception.
South Christian is not forced to punt today, and they need a stop here. Pat Salas right side, a gain of 4 on first down, and you would think South Christian's only hope right now with 3 timeouts left is to call those timeouts. So they burn their first right here, but John, the bigger issue for the Sailors, they have to figure out a way to actually stop the Mariners from picking up a first down. They've not been able to do that.
Well, they got to get that or a turnover, and you know it's a 2-score game, so their backs are against the wall.
Let's go back down to Rod Beard, who's got a feel for these Marine City faithful here at Ford Field today.
Yeah, I'm deep in the sea of orange here in Mariners land. A town of about 2,000 or 3,000 folks, 500 students at the school, but they've got about 10,000 folks filling up Ford Field here. The last time they were here and they won in 2007, the Ford Field folks said that this was the most that they had seen from any high school for a high school game. So the Mariners faithful really coming through for their team, and it looks like they're about 237 away from a state championship. Back to you guys.
All right, Rod. School of just over 500. They've got 100 in the football program and 100 in the marching band. Off the left side. Man, that's a lot of hitting going on. The helmet comes off of Jared Matheson, and again, by rule, he's got to come out for a play. But boy, he just kept the legs going. That should have been a gain of 0, and he picked up 3. That's a big 3.
And you can see it right here. All the South Christians, they're trying to tackle the football. They're trying to make them fumble, get a turnover. Matheson do a good job covering up. Both him and Sapienza have done a nice job all afternoon holding on to the football.
Second timeout called by South Christian. And this is the game right here. This is the game. They need a stop on 3rd and 3. If they get it, it will be the first time today that they have forced a punt.
And I would think that they'll be coming after it if they can.
FoxSportsDetroit.com has you covered for all the latest news and information, including interviews, highlights, videos, fan forums, and exclusives on the Tigers, Red Wings, Pistons, Lions, and more. Go to FoxSportsDetroit.com. Your only stop for all things Detroit sports. FoxSportsDetroit.com. Here we go, 3rd and 3. Sapienza, Pat Salas in the backfield. The give right side, and Pat Salas tripped up. And South Christian will use their final timeout. David Boomsma in on the stop. So for the first time, we will see the punter for Marine City, Dana O'Rourke.
That was their only shot, and they did. They got him stopped. So
2007 Marine City won a state championship. Ron Glodich was the offensive coordinator at the time. Lost a tough one 2 years ago in the state finals. This is from the championship in 2007.
Who was the coach, Dan? Tony Scarcelli. The great Tony Scarcelli. He's done a wonderful job up there. And Ron and he were assistants for a long time. And they passed the torch on. They're doing a great job. But great continuity in the coaching staff. Great community support. And those guys really got it going up there. And it's so nice to see a small town like that come together and have the success they've had up in Marine City.
Well, clearly it was a winning program when Ron Glodich took over, and he gives a lot of credit to those who preceded him, and he's just continued that winning tradition. Eric Van Voorst is deep. That ball goes out of bounds. So South Christian now gets the ball back. Just over 2 minutes to go. We have seen drives last under a minute in this game. We've seen a ton of big plays. And South Christian right now could use another. John, can that screen still work?
Well, I think they're going to have to throw the ball downfield. They're going to have to, if they can get it to Van Voorst, have him break a couple tackles, or down the seam is still open. I think they can hit a seam, but they got to strike quick, and that's obviously their only chance.
Wassing twice has split out and been the target of a pass from Plasman, but he's the quarterback here. And they will try the screen left side. Plasman up to midfield before he steps out of bounds. They'll rule him out at the 48-yard line. That's enough for a first down, and again kills the clock with still just over 2 minutes to go.
Nice job. He looked to the front side, and they went right back to that bread and butter screenplay of theirs. Excellent. They got a good opportunity to get out of bounds and shut that clock down.
No huddle offense. And Mitchell Quacklar is coming off. So Todd Postma, he was having an issue with his helmet, or his helmet come off, but he has to come off, and Todd Postma will back him up at left tackle. He comes into the game. 1st and 10. Sailors of Grand Rapids South Christian down 2 touchdowns. 2 minutes to go in the Division IV state championship game here at Ford Field. Wasink over the middle, has his man. Highbore inside the 35-yard line. Clock stops while they move the chains. Joe Mazur with the tackle. Hurry up offense for Grand Rapids South Christian.
Nice job sticking it in there. Highbore just coming across the middle on a delay, trying to find that seam between the linebackers and the safeties. Excellent, excellent execution.
So they spike the ball on 1st down to stop the clock. Clock starts as soon as they set the chains. Quacklar back in, and out comes Todd Postma, the left tackle for Grand Rapids South Christian. Wasink has had a terrific day. This has been a very well played game on the offensive side of things. Second and 10. Wasink looking left. Overthrows Van Voorst just a little bit high. He was open.
They're giving him a little cushion now. They do not. They want to keep him in front of them. That time he just a little high. Van Voorst went up and almost made a great catch.
3rd and 10. Wasink stumbles and falls, and it's a loss of 6. Alec Adams, Dennis Fitzsimmons converging, but as he stepped up into the pocket, I think he just tripped and went down.
Yeah, good pressure by Adams. Just lost his feet. Tough break for Grand Rapids.
No timeouts remaining in 4th and 16 for Grand Rapids South Christian. This is it. Heavy pressure, rolling right, throwing downfield, missed his man, and the ball will go over on downs. A flag flies late. Man, let's see what the call is. Is it against Marine City for a late hit?
I think it is.
It was 4th and 16.
They had applied great pressure there on Wasink. Good coverage.
You can see the late hit. And
wow.
Now they're saying it was. Marine City is saying it went against Grand Rapids South Christian.
Personal foul on White. It's going to be half the difference. It's going to be white ball. White ball.
So as after the incompletion, the ball goes over to Marine City on downs. Again, after the incompletion, there's the hit. Not really much.
Looked like he was trying to hold up.
Yeah,
actually.
It really did. The call went against Matheson, but right now Marine City doesn't really care. 11 penalties for 100 yards, but they're a minute away, a couple of snaps away from winning this Division IV state championship game after the 4th and 16 pass could not find the intended target of Van Voorst. They still have not stepped off the penalty. They said half the distance, but the ball was outside the 45-yard line on the incompletion. So we'll see where they mark this off from. Ron Glodich, you can only imagine the feelings. Long-time assistant in Marine City. We got the guards on the Gatorade. You got to believe, though, he might get that bath a little bit later.
Well, I got to give those guys and their staff a lot of credit. They had a great game plan. Did a wonderful job mixing it up offensively. They brought all kinds of pressure, multiple looks defensively.
Right from the start, John. The first play of the game, they had 3 wideouts to the left and an empty backfield.
Right.
And that kind of set the tone for the day for a modified wing tee. They really did show South Christian just about every look you can imagine.
They did a great job scheming for this game.
And now it's take a knee time. Alex Merchant takes a knee. He'll have to do it one more time. The celebration has begun on the far sideline. Ron Glodich and his staff. There's a lot of hard work that goes into a football season at the high school level. A lot of assistant coaches. The hours put in by the players and coaches is really something. The last snap, and let the celebration begin for Marine City. They do not have to snap it again. And Marine City is the Division IV state champion in 2013. Ron Glodich getting the hugs. Jared Matheson, what a day he had. But it was an offense where everybody got a chance to shine today. Ron Glodich, second year as head coach after 22 years as the offensive coordinator. He says he's been tweaking this offense for a long time, John, and it all seemed to come together today.
Well, it really did. You could just tell they really game planned for this game. Did a wonderful job. That offensive line continued to pound all game long, opening up holes for Sapienza and Matheson, gave Merchant time to throw the football. A true team effort. And that defense, I mean, that's a high-powered offense for Grand Rapids South Christian. And they gave up some big plays, but in the end, they were right there. They did what they had to do. They forced them to be uncomfortable. They put a lot of pressure on Wasik, and I think that contributed to some. He was just off a little on his passes, and I think that pressure and that confusion that Marine City's defense caused was very, very effective.
Handshakes at midfield. South Christian had a terrific season. Marine City, in a wild one, is the Division IV state champion with a 49-35 win. We knew Marine City wanted to run the ball today, and they did, but John, it was really through the air where it really stood out. The big play offense, Pete Patsalis, was such a big part of it, getting behind the Grand Rapids South Christian defense.
He really was. They called key passes at key times. They mixed it up beautifully, and a great game plan for Marine City. And this was 2 great heavyweights going at it. It was a shame one had to lose, but I'll tell you right now, you can see the way how hard they played. They laid it out there. And a great win for the city and community of Marine City.
Big plays, South Christian, nothing to hang their heads about. They were terrific in this game today.
They were.
Marine City just a little bit better. Everything was clicking for the Mariners. Once again, our final score in the Division IV state championship game, Grand Rapids South Christian losing to Marine City. Marine City wins it 49-35. For my partner John Wangler and Rod Beard, this is Dan Dickerson. You've been watching the MHSAA football finals on Fox Sports Detroit. So long, everybody, from Ford Field.